My wife told me the reason we're not intimate is because she has a crush on her trainer.
Got a little too personal.
My wife, 38 female, and I, 38 male, have been together 15 years, married for 10. In that time, she's always done something fitness-wise, be it running or the gym or cycling. About a year ago, she decided she wanted to be stronger. She started doing weights at the gym and she was getting there, but around 4 months ago, she said she needed some guidance and started doing sessions with one of the gym's personal trainers. By the way, this comes from Throwaway Wife PT. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit. I'm Sophia.
I'm Carly.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we'd do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says she was really enjoying it, and about a month ago upped it from 2 sessions a week to 3. There was a notable change in her strength, and I was happy for her, as she seemed really proud of herself. Then this weekend, she dropped a bombshell on me. I had noticed our spicy sleep life had pretty much come to a stop a couple of months ago, and I spoke to her about it, and she said she was sorry. It was just the stress of starting a new job, mixed with the cold weather, and she just wasn't in the mood. The cold weather? The cold weather is when it should go up, because you're cold. You want to get a little warm. That's crazy.
Too cold outside.
Yeah, she's like, it's too cold outside.
They were just standing outside every time.
Yeah. She's like, we need to stop doing it outside.
It wasn't because they were outside. It was because it was too cold.
And I'd leave it and let her lead the pace when she was ready to again. Well, this weekend, she told me that she had developed a very intense crush on her PT, and that while she knows crushes happen in relationships, this feels like it's more. She said she finds herself constantly seeking his attention either at the gym or on social media. She has started tagging him in all her posts, but I just assumed it was more of a giving credit thing. Then she admitted she has started wearing less and less at the gym to get his attention, which is something I hadn't noticed as she always takes her gym bag with her and gets changed there. She admitted that the last few times we had spicy sleep, she fantasized that it was him. Ooh, and that's why she stopped having spicy sleep, as she felt too guilty. Probably the worst thing she told me was that a few days ago she saw him having a personal session with someone else, a younger woman more his age, and she saw them laughing together and she got that jealous and upset she had to leave the gym and go cry in her car.
Oh my God.
Whoa. She said he has done nothing to encourage this and has been nothing but professional throughout all of this, and it's not at fault. I don't know what to do. I'm crushed. Do I just sit back and wait for the crush to stop? No. I think right now it really, really sucks that this has happened, that she has developed this crush. However, I don't think that we're at a point of no return. I think right now she is just has a crush. She said that, she's been kind of switching up her outfits and stuff, but at least if she's telling the truth, that's it. So I think that what we need to do going forward is you say, okay, thank you for telling me that. Obviously, I'm very hurt and I might, maybe you need some time just to think, blah, blah, blah. But then if you want to move forward, I think the answer is, okay, well, I can't tell you what to do, but I think for your benefit and the benefit of our relationship, I don't think that you should go to that gym anymore or see that personal trainer, because obviously that's not going to help.
Definitely need a new gym.
Yeah. And maybe we go to counseling.
Yeah. I wonder too if her coming to you with this before she's done at that gym is kind of indicating that she doesn't want to. But I think it's a totally good ask.
Yeah.
And that would be the only way I feel like you could let's have her keep going.
I agree. I think that obviously she's in the wrong, but I don't think that she is like irredeemable, like anywhere near irredeemable, because she has come to you before anything happened. Do I demand she changes gyms and blocks this guy? We've all had crushes in relationships and eventually they go, but I feel like this one won't, as she's alone with him 3 times a week and follows him on all her social media accounts. Yeah, no.
Yeah. If she can't distance herself and totally stop seeing this man,
it's gonna
not
be
on socials, not in person, there's no redeemable.
As you said, she cried over him. That's an issue.
It's crazy.
I feel like distance is how you get over this, but I don't want to come across as controlling. What do you think? It's not controlling. She doesn't want to change anything and thinks it will just go away on its own. And that's when you step in and you say,
And it's a problem.
you telling me this information has changed our relationship.
That's crazy.
That's insane that she just came to you and said, I cried over him, but also I'm not going to stop seeing him.
Yeah, really, the personal training is going so well.
Yeah. Edit, I spoke to her last night and got a bit more information and then went and spoke to him and got some more. He has done nothing wrong. I'll post an update after work tonight. Powerful Goose 9330 says, crying in her car because he talked to another client? That sounds like a lot more than just a crush. Yeah. Space Snail says, sounds like limerence.
I was just going to say it sounds like limerence.
Yeah. When a crush crosses over into unhealthy obsession territory, it usually isn't about the person, it's a coping mechanism in order to fill a deficit, so to speak, in your own life through someone else. OP says, agreed, it sounds like she's developed feelings for him. Atlas says, I think you're missing the point some people are making. It's not that she's developed deeper feelings, it's that she's developed an unhealthy obsession with someone she actually doesn't know. Crying in the car when you see someone doing their job with someone else isn't healthy. The point is not so much she's really in love. The point is, wow, her mental health is really low. You don't want to be controlling, but you can sit down together and talk. And you can ask her if she's willing to prioritize your marriage by 1, changing gyms, and 2, going to therapy. Then it's her choice, which is exactly what we said.
Yeah.
And yours, whether you're willing to forgive and help each other work through this. Richie J 86 says, if I'm being honest, I only ever find this problem of people when they intentionally fly too close to the sun. Her problem wasn't necessarily the crush, it was that she actively and willingly fed into it. Most sane people that care for their marriages and relationships will immediately see the problem and try to move as far from it as possible. That's the impasse. You either dump the cold water on it or you add accelerant. She didn't. She made every attempt, pulled every stop to make it more than a crush, and failed the wife test. That's a scary thought. There's so many people out there that turn down a flirt and romantic gesture out of respect for their partners. Yeah, she needs therapy. And you need to reevaluate your marriage because she's hanging on by a thread. The Mockingbird says, this isn't a crush. Best case scenario, it's a one-sided emotional affair. Her crying over him, talking to someone else, shows that, as is her seeking out his attention online and in person. None of this is normal or okay. She doesn't want to change anything and thinks it will just go away on its own. My gosh, she cried because he talked to another girl. This isn't some benign crush. She's going out of her way to get his attention online and in person with revealing clothes. She's already shown she's incapable of separating her feelings. You shouldn't ask her to quit seeing her trainer or go no contact. If she was remorseful, she'd do it on her own. OP says, I agree with you, and she's refusing couples counseling. I just don't understand that.
Yeah, this is not good.
No.
Because if this is what she's going to hold, then I do feel like it's done.
I agree. Because I think we've identified, the comments have identified what needs to happen to continue this marriage in a healthy way. And she's not willing to do any of that.
Yeah, it's weird that she just came to him and she was like, here's what's going on. And I'm not really going to do anything about that. That's cool though, right?
I'm sure it'll just disappear.
Right. It'll just, maybe I should up it to 5 days a week.
Yeah,
That'll
maybe if
help.
I see him more, that would get away.
over
Yeah,
it.
that would get the crush out of here. I don't know what to do next, and there is an update. 3 days later, so I spoke to my wife the night after my original post. I said she needs to leave her personal trainer, quit that gym, and we need to start going to couples counseling. She wasn't happy and started arguing, saying it's only a crush and it'll pass and she's making good progress, and then started framing it as me not caring about her health. This is directly OP caring about your health. Once she realized I wasn't budging, she started trying to bargain with me and saying, what if she stopped seeing the personal trainer? Could she still go to the gym? And if she started having spicy sleep with me again, we don't need couples counseling. That's not how this is going to work. You can't just bargain with spicy sleep. That's so weird. It makes it sound like a chore to you.
Yeah.
I hate that. I lost my temper at this point, and I admit I shouted, enough. I want to know everything. Tell me everything you've done. I want to read your messages with him. I want to see these outfits you're wearing. I need to know everything now. She said, fine, and stormed off upstairs. She came down wearing an outfit that was a bit much, to be fair, for the gym in a cold country. but I didn't say anything and asked to see her phone. She said she deleted the messages. When I asked why, she was honest and said she sent him a topless selfie on Christmas Day while I was downstairs cooking the dinner for her bloody family. And now we've stepped into cheating.
Yeah.
And now she's just a cheater.
Yeah.
She then said that while she's confessing, she also kissed another man on a night out in the first year of relationship. So she's just a cheater. And this relationship is over. I already knew this because her friend who fancied me at the time told me about it. I asked her why him and not me. What's he got that I haven't? She said nothing, and it was more about the situation than him. She said she's starting to feel regret and like she missed out on her youth.
Ooh.
She had a boyfriend from school to her early 20s, was single for a year, and then met me. She said she's starting to regret not having more fun, and she's starting to enjoy attention from other men more and more, especially younger men. When she was telling me originally, she said a couple of times, I'm not planning on doing anything. It's just a fantasy, unless you want me to do something. Divorce.
What?
Divorce. I'm sorry, what?
What if you were just okay with me cheating?
What if I cheated and you let it happen?
What if you actually knew about it and you just shut up about it?
Yeah. What if he did it that way? With a nervous laughter, and at the time it felt a bit like she wanted to do something, but was trying to frame it as my idea, but I never really clicked properly. Yeah, that's exactly what she's doing. I asked her when she told me if she was expecting me to give her permission, and she said she genuinely thought, because I don't get jealous, I'd be okay with it. I still feel like I wasn't being given everything, though. The outfit and the kiss confession felt like distractions, and something was missing. Yeah, no, she's absolutely been trickle-truthing you the whole time. There's definitely something missing. Even telling me about all this in the first place felt a bit like she was trying to get her story in before someone else told me. Maybe like that friend who had a crush on you. I said I'm going for a drive and then went to the gym to speak to her personal trainer. I approached him and said, I'm not here for trouble. I understand my wife has been pestering you. He wasn't happy being approached this way, which I get, but he asked me who my wife was, and when I told him, he said he knew something like this was going to happen. He told me that he hadn't trained her since Christmas, as he let her go after she had been sending pictures, plural, not just the one she told me about. Makes sense.
Okay, there
we go. Yeah, because I was like,
there's
no way.
I needed. Yeah.
There's no way that she sent those pictures and he didn't drop her.
Yeah.
If nothing was going on. Yeah. He said since then she had kept messaging, but he ignored her. He let me read the messages, and she had sent 12 pictures over a 3-month period. One fully unclothed, and when he told her not to send them, she said she was just showing her progress. And then you block her. And that's when he should have blocked her. The worst part, though, was she was messaging him stuff like, we've had another argument, could really do with a session to burn off some anger. And he's out drinking with his friends and ignoring me. I'm so lonely. Neither of which are true. And then she told them mid-December that she had kicked me out and we were divorcing.
Oh my God.
With the Christmas Day picture, she even said, first Christmas alone. And just last week, she messaged him saying I was already seeing someone else. I thanked him and asked him to send me them and went home. When I got home, she was already gone and just wrote me a note saying sorry. She's at her friend's house, and we've been texting a bit the last couple of days and have a marriage counselor booked for next week. But I think it's done.
You think?
Yeah, she sucks. I'm not even that bothered about the pictures or the flirting or the outfit. I'm bothered about the lying about me and our marital status. I don't drink, and we haven't argued in years. I'm downstairs entertaining her family while she's sending spicy pics. She's never sent me one. And telling him she's alone. I'm working all this weekend to try and keep my mind busy. And edit, thank you for all the replies. I really do appreciate it. I've decided to not bother with marriage counseling and just start divorce proceedings this week. Yeah.
I mean, she's already telling people you are.
Yeah. She said she was already alone.
She said first Christmas alone.
So let's let's make that come true.
Yeah.
We can make your Christmas wish happen. Life really can turn upside down in a week. I never thought I'd be single again, but here we are. Iffy Biz says, this was well beyond a crush. You think? Yeah. This was her actively trying to cheat. This was her actively cheating.
Yeah.
Just because
he didn't really entertain it, even
Still
though he
cheating.
low-key kind of did for a second.
Yeah.
Still fully cheating.
Yeah. No, 100%. If he had been willing, she absolutely would have slept with him. OP says, I 100% agree. The new bot says, what actually bothers me on top of everything else is that she, spicy sleepily, a man trying to do his job and didn't stop when he told her. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cheating aside, that kind of behavior makes my stomach drop. OP says, yeah, I genuinely feel for him. He was put in an awkward spot. Yeah, no, absolutely. Still, if you are put in that kind of situation, block those people. That is
I wonder what the rules of the gym were.
Yeah, like
if he was stuck in something.
If he was stuck,
contractually,
that's different.
and then it's like, why isn't your gym helping you?
Yeah. If it was a situation where he couldn't do anything else and his gym didn't help him, hopefully not.
I hope not.
But
crappy gym.
For anyone else who's experiencing this and has people sending you unwanted, unsolicited pictures, block them. King in my mind says, when you have to explain that you're getting a divorce, and if you feel like embarrassing your soon-to-be ex, you could explain to her family and friends the part about your wife stalking and pestering her former trainer and him having to let her go. Of course, it might be a good idea to do this anyway, since the more of the truth you got out there, the less room she has to slander you. No Contest says, all things considered, personal trainer is quite a decent guy. They could have been humping like rabbits if he was receptive to your wife's action. OP says, yeah, he was a good guy to me. Sent over 20 screenshots. Wallaby in training says she harassed a professional who only tried to do his job. She lied about you drinking, about you being verbally aggressive. She even divorced you in her mind and her messages just to appear more available. She cheated. Mentally, she already divorced you. Reverse the genders. A married man lying about his wife being horrible, about her being wasted while she actually doesn't even drink. Sending spicy pics to his younger female trainer while his wife is cooking for his family, claiming to be divorced and lonely, claiming his wife argues constantly with him, continuing to send inappropriate messages after being told to stop. Imagine the wife in the story is a friend or your sister. What would you tell them? You don't deserve to be treated like that. You deserve love, respect. You deserve to be wanted. Right now, you need to make that appointment with a very good divorce attorney. Even if you eventually decide not to divorce her, you need to know your options now, though I hope you see divorce is really the only option. And please go into individual therapy, not couples counseling. You're the victim of mistreatment and you're going through heartbreak and you've been betrayed. That's not something you should handle alone. Do you exercise? You might want to consider hitting the gym. Not to pester a personal trainer, but training releases endorphins, and you can use all the endorphins you can produce. It helps bounce back from crap like this eventually. Also, after her disinterest, it may take some time before you feel desirable again. Working out can help that.
It is kind of wild to recommend going to a gym, though.
Yeah, it's like I know you just had an experience where your wife was trying to cheat with a personal trainer, but have you thought about getting your own personal trainer?
Maybe just run outside.
Yeah. Things will get better. 5 years from now, you'll look back and be happy to be rid of her. You might still mourn the loss of the wife you thought you had, but that was a lie. The truth is, she doesn't deserve you, but you guys deserve to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There is a little bit left to this story, but do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with those commenters. Like, it's going to be rough. You are mourning a person that you thought you knew well. It's mourning a relationship.
Absolutely.
It's oftentimes the same as if someone was passing. So, like,
especially
take
marriage.
Your time and heal and don't rush back out there and hopefully maybe get therapy. And then this won't go into the back of your mind in future relationships.
Yeah. I'm also like side thought, hoping that the personal trainer reports her so that she can never, get another personal trainer at this gym at least. Because that is, super gross.
Yeah. You can always hit him up and be like, you want me to report it?
Yeah, I could report it. Throwaway says, give her the divorce she fantasized about giving you. Better luck next time. No brainer if you don't have kids. Kid Rom Music says, you should F her personal trainer. That would really show her. OP says, that made me laugh. And Wishing for a Rainy Day says, wait, your wife started arguing with you about leaving her personal trainer, but he had already fired her as a client? She was arguing to get to stay just to keep pestering him. She's a troubled person. Please protect yourself. OP says, as soon as she said she'll stop going to him but still use the gym, it flicked an alarm in my head that something wasn't right. Yeah.
Yikes.
There it is.
My husband wanted another kid when he's not even a present father.
You can't have a new one when you haven't worked on the first one.
And we do have a trigger warning for mentions of mistreatment, and this comes directly from the r/OKstorytime subreddit.
Oh boy.
I, 28 female, and my husband, 27 male, will be married 1 year at the end of January.
Nice.
Our marriage was forced due to needing insurance after getting accidentally pregnant 6 months into dating. Our son, 11 months male, was born in February last year, and we've gone through a lot together. But there's one thing I knew my husband wanted more than anything, and that was a big family. Originally, he told me he wanted 8 kids, which I was able to bring down to 4 because 8 kids in this economy? By the way, this comes from PB and Jeb, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKstorytime subreddit, where this is from. And I'm Carly.
I'm Sophia.
And we're here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do. Let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, after getting pregnant, I experienced the worst symptoms I could do nothing about. I'm talking Braxton Hicks at 6 months, nausea and morning sickness, bloating, diarrhea, yeast infections one after another, along with UTIs, pneumonia, vertigo that caused me to fall down the stairs 7 months pregnant, not to mention the worst depression and anxiety I've ever experienced.
That sucks.
Oh my God. I ended up with preeclampsia and having to be induced at 37 weeks and 2 days, only to have 47 hours of inactive labor with an aversion because my son was breached. They manually turned my son by pushing on my stomach because his head was pointed the wrong way. All the while, my epidural wasn't working properly since they didn't consider my height. I'm 6'3". I felt everything except my upper thighs. My God.
This is such a traumatic experience.
It's a lot.
Oh my goodness.
When my son was born, things were good until I had my gallbladder surgery as my last pregnancy symptom. Gallstones had built up while my son was in the womb, leading to the need to remove my gallbladder. Of course, this meant I couldn't take care of my son fully because of the wounds and medications to help with the pain. My husband thought the best thing to do was to call his aunt without telling me to take our son from me at 1 month old. I cried constantly because my baby was ripped from me without my knowledge beforehand. I was barely healed before I forced my husband to bring him back. I still get anxious if my son is with someone else now due to that incident. My son otherwise is an angel child. He's easygoing, adventurous, has a full personality that makes me laugh like crazy, and is very aware of how cute he is. I ended up becoming a stay-at-home mom due to my childcare not working out and no one able to watch my son when I worked. I'm lucky to have been able to do that. However, it isolated me a lot more than I realized it would. While pregnant, my husband assured me his family would be a support system when I had my son, as most retired early and love kids. My family was not great to me, so this was reassuring. Now my son is 11 months old, and the only time I get help from them is when my husband asks. They ignore my calls and texts or claim they're busy, even if I ask months in advance. My husband took a work trip to Hawaii while I stayed back home on the East Coast, only for my son to get 4 teeth coming in at once.
Oh, dang.
This means I barely got 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night.
That is very rough.
Yay. This went on for weeks, leaving me super emotional and exhausted. I asked for help so I could get a shower or a nap and was met with silence or last-minute cancellations. Finally,
People all suck.
They all suck.
And at this point, I do think, I mean, like, I don't know how much money you have, but is there any, like, services that we can look into?
There was some issue with the childcare falling through.
Okay.
Finally, my dad came, allowing me an hour nap before he had to leave, too. I was essentially single parenting, and to make myself feel normal again, since postpartum depression hit me hard, I made a hair appointment a month and a half in advance. This was a birthday anniversary thank you gift from my husband, and I was so excited about it. My father-in-law promised to watch my son, so it was a nice break. Except my father-in-law canceled last minute. His reason? He didn't want to drive to my house 30 minutes away, but only told me when it would be impossible for me to drop my son off and get back in time for my appointment, which I originally had no issues doing and had told him as much.
And at this point, I think we know that these people are not trustworthy and we just need to stop relying on them entirely.
Yeah. This is just a small taste of the loneliness I feel, not mentioning that my husband barely listens to me and had no idea the plans for our wedding in October, honeymoon in November, or our son's birthday, all of which I told him multiple times about. Emotionally, he is distant, unwilling to understand what I need. For example, my mom's passing date recently passed, the first time with my son around, and he hung up while I was venting my feelings about it to speak with his dad who called. He never called me back or messaged me. I became a maid and mother, and our spicy sleep life is non-existent. I barely feel any interest in him, whether due to loss of interest or hormones from giving birth. Recently, my husband began talking about trying for another baby, and the idea sent me into a panic attack.
Nice.
I love my son, but I can't think of bringing another life into this situation when I'm the only one who parents.
OP, why are we still with
Yeah,
this
he doesn't sound
person?
very great.
Sounds like you've only complained about your partner.
They also only got married for the insurance.
Yeah, if we only got married for the insurance,
And
maybe
he's
we can
proving bad.
divorce for the child support.
I know this may cause my husband to leave me, but I wrote out reasoning why I don't want any more kids, and I'm considering getting my tubes tied. They're below the talking points, so I don't forget or miss anything. So we have our bullet points here. Money. Our son is already super expensive, and as he grows, I want to be able to give him as much as I can without sacrificing his happiness for younger siblings. I want to gift him trips and have the option for him to go to college debt-free. This also means we won't need a bigger house or car. Hard pregnancy. It's significantly proven that the baby juice contributes to symptoms and complications during pregnancy. For 10 months, I had the worst complications and symptoms, only to not be believed when I had preeclampsia. I do not want to experience that again, and I hated how I felt. Childcare. Our son is not able to have childcare because we can't afford it. I eventually want to return to work, and I won't be able to do that if he is the eldest, meaning a 10-year gap on my resume leading to lower wages. Our family also refuses to contribute to childcare. Lack of support. When I was pregnant, you promised your family would be there to support us. Your mom sucks. Dad can't communicate. Brother has his own issues, and aunt won't return texts unless it's from you. The support comes from you asking, not me. The recent work trip made it clear I am the last priority for your family, and I am not willing to go through this 3 more times.
Yeah.
Being a dad. While I love you, you've shown me as a partner that you are not present. Providing money is great, but our son needs a dad who pays attention to him. You've missed milestones due to being on your phone in Hawaii and not listening. Your input comes too late, and around your family, you act like a completely different person. You repeat my ideas to others as if they were your own. Other. I love our son, but this has taught me I never want to do this again. My emotional and physical well-being is more important than having additional children I would be responsible for while you leave on a second shift to work, then eventually resent me for needing a break. My career, writing, and personal growth have all suffered. Conclusion. I am aware you want more children, but I refuse. If you want more, we may have to separate so you can find someone who only wants to be a parent to multiple. I would want to remain amicable for our son's sake and because I still love you, but I do not want more children, and I do not want you to resent me for refusing. Any advice would be appreciated. We have some comments, but what do you think?
I understand why maybe you still love your husband and see the good in him, but overall it seems like he's been a pretty bad co-parent.
Yeah. Also crazy to me that a parent or like a spouse sees this person that they love and married and like want to raise kids with suffer so much in the process, and then they're just like, so like
We're
let's
back
try for another one.
Let's do it one more time.
Round 2.
Yeah.
I actually want 4.
Yeah.
You just watched her like suffer in pain for 47 hours, I think she said, on top of everything starting 6 months in.
And then not helping her at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely think this relationship is it can't proceed. It's tough though.
Which, I mean, her last thing about like other like let's just get divorced and you can find someone else and I will amicably be there for you to still see your son is like, you're really doing the most. Like you are just giving him everything he wants. And
Truly?
I'm like, girl, take care of yourself though.
Yeah.
But I think that is the best for you still too.
I agree. I just think you're not, I don't know, you haven't said many. You haven't said anything favorable about your husband, so
or his family. Comment 1. My friend, this may be hard to hear, but this is all mistreatment. Omitting information, not asking your opinion, controlling who speaks to you or answers you. Every item you listed is grooming for harmful control, cutting you off from help in friends or family, having no boundaries or consideration for your well-being. It is mistreatment. You need to leave now. The longer you wait, the harder it is to get away. Choose yourself and your son. You are worthy of dignity, respect, kindness, and compassion, especially from yourself. Consider what kind of life will your children have with a harmful father. Even if he didn't directly harm them, he would be harming you, and that affects how they develop. Get out, please, by all means, get out. Comment 2, I think regardless of what he says, you should divorce. I think you need to tell him until you are ready to leave and no longer having spicy sleep with him. He will never be involved. He likes having the reputation of being a family man whilst letting you do everything alone. He's not a good partner or father. Divorce may force him into being a better dad for the time he is with his son. You need to get back to work full time. Please check out all your options for childcare and good luck. Comment 3, all of this makes me sick to my stomach, but I will focus on the 2 that made me the sickest. He took your baby from you. No baby that young should be away from mom, unless it's an absolutely unavoidable, and no baby should be forcibly removed from their mother without her consent.
Yeah.
Unless mother is a danger or something, which you aren't. Morally, if not legally, they kidnapped your baby, and your body and mind reacted appropriately to that. Your pregnancy devastated you physically. A loving partner would not be talking expanding the family this soon. And any breaching of the future topic should start with your concerns and ideally the discussion of other options. You can build a big family without putting that burden on your family. I could never ask my partner to take that risk. I would struggle to agree if my partner, having gone through that, came and begged me to do it. I would fear losing them. This isn't even going into the fact that you two clearly aren't capable of caring for more kids financially, emotionally, or physically. We have an update. But yeah. I totally forgot about the part of him just being like, we're taking the baby to aunts.
Me too. I also forgot that. Again, there's even more reason to not be with this person.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah, I have no other thoughts.
Divorce, babes. Update. I spent half the day with my dad, an hour away from my home, because I needed support. While at my father's house, I was able to get about 3 hours of sleep. It allowed me to have a cleaner head, and then I went to a checkup for my son to talk about his night walking hours. We've put him on a soy formula-based diet, suspecting he may have an allergy of some sort, which is causing him to keep waking up throughout the night. Last night, he woke up once at 5:30 a.m. for a bottle, waking again at 8, and took another 2-hour nap today. This was my first good night's sleep in almost 4 weeks. Hopefully it continues, so fingers crossed. I had an emergency appointment with my psychiatrist, whom I trust with my therapy issues as well, because I was having constant panic attacks about my situation. While on the call, she told me that the lab she ordered for me had come back. She said she's concerned about my thyroid based on what the lab showed and is sending me to a specialist. She mentioned that it could be causing my recent weight gain, low libido, and other issues I've been dealing with. Mixed with the fatigue, which she described as wartime torture, it was a recipe for disaster. When talking to my husband about my struggles with parenthood and how I felt, he agreed that he does not want any more children anytime soon. He had assumed I wanted kids soon and asked about it, but he confirmed he does not want a giant family after having our son. He also admitted that he has been distancing himself because he is overwhelmed with parenthood.
Okay.
I expressed my frustration about the situation, and he apologized.
Okay. So maybe we just needed to communicate?
Maybe we just needed to talk?
Maybe that was the
There
only.
was a part of me that was like, is he just like terrified of being a dad all of a sudden?
Yeah, which like, okay. There is an element of like
But, like,
PPD that it
let's
can affect,
communicate.
parents. I did just kind of assume that you guys had talked about it and he wasn't showing up at all.
That's what I assumed.
But it seems like
had
maybe
not
we
talked
just
at
didn't
all.
communicate.
No conversation. With the babysitter, he was attempting to save money, but after hearing how much it would mean to me, we agreed to interview a few people in our area so I could get a break every once in a while with a budget separate from our joint account. He also informed me that he yelled at his father for bailing on me for my hair appointment. What I did not know was that my husband had paid his father in advance to watch my son,
Whoa.
only for him to bail and keep the money.
Okay. So maybe we just literally didn't communicate and there was a lot more going on behind the scenes.
He has noticed how his family has been treating me and is not happy, as they had promised support for when he had children but failed to deliver. While he is not typically someone who trusts therapy, he agreed to couples counseling to try to fix our marriage before we even think about having more children. He requested to come back to our home earlier and will take a week off to spend time with me and our son once he returns.
Okay.
This does not fix all our issues, but it's a start in the right direction.
Yeah, huge start. I thought you guys were done for.
I was so worried and y'all just hadn't talked.
Yeah, all good, I guess.
But I'll point you guys in the right direction of more full episodes with stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. There's just a little bit left.
Oh boy.
Let's hear it.
Let's hit it.
I also want to mention that part of my emotional post was related to my mom's passing anniversary. She passed when I was 15. I knew that if she were here today, I would be able to seek her out for support during this time. I miss my mom more than anything and desperately wanted her to meet my son. She would have loved him and would have been my backbone to tell me if I was going crazy or if it was all in my head. Today I received apology flowers with a note that said, "I'm sorry for being an a-hole," which brightened my day a bit. I am seriously thankful for everyone who took the time to read my post and this one. No matter what opinions were shared, it's helpful for me to reflect on why I was so frustrated and dive deep into my own psyche. This is in no way the end of my struggles, but it may have helped to save my marriage. And that's the end of that story.
Well, power to ya. You figured it out.
I like that, how quickly that was so easily resolved from like a conversation.
Literally, I was like, wow, like he is never around. He doesn't listen to her.
Right. She's like probably been begging him to be there and he's just like ignoring. Nah. He literally is just like, I was really scared and didn't want more kids, but I really thought you wanted more kids. So
and
I was
also,
just
I didn't
like,
realize that my family was being this bad.
right. And also my family sucks. And it's like, oh, you know all of this. And also, I thought you didn't want the babysitter, and but like I'll get one for you right now.
Yeah, communicate,
Okay.
folks, because apparently it solved literally everything in the story.
And then the rest of it just being like an actual medical problem.
Yeah,
All is well that ends well.
I suppose so.
Fingers crossed for y'all.